By the end of this video, I hope you'll walk away with some practical tips and a fresh perspective. Just sharing some things that have worked for me over the years and that I have learned the hard way. A question for you now. What are your most significant stressors around the holidays? Is it trying to meet everyone's expectation? Is it nervousness about that family gathering that you planned and invited everyone to, and now you're having second thoughts? Is it being around those family members that may not get along very well? Well, I have learned that whatever is dysfunctional in a family, and I use that word dysfunctional broadly, that can cover a lot of things. I just mean maybe whatever's wrong in your family, it's always magnified at Christmas time because there's so much peace and joy and harmony um, spread around that we think, oh, we have to make everybody in our family get along perfectly. So when things don't go well, it's really magnified during the holidays. And if we're aware of that, we can kind of stave off some of that disappointment, knowing that that's going to happen. My friend, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. Already, I hope I'm not making you feel overwhelmed, because this is not a talk to bring you stress. This is a talk to help you get rid of your stress. So let's keep going, shall we? There's many more things that can stress us out, but we're going to talk now about ways to navigate them, how to work through some of these stressors and find peace in our heart and spread a little peace around to those around us too. I'm going to give you 7 things. I'm going to go through them quite quickly. We're not going to go into detail with them very much. 7 things to do. Things that have worked for me. I'm still working on them. I haven't arrived. These are still things I'm working on, but maybe we can work on them together. The first one is focus. And what do I mean by focus? I mean, we think that we have to make Christmas perfect. We don't. We never did. That's not in our job description as women. We've tried. God knows we've tried. Instead of trying to control every detail, we should focus on creating moments of connection with people. And when tensions arise that are out of our control, we should shift our attention to things that we're grateful for. Now, how can we think of what we're grateful for when we feel strife and tension around us? Well, let me tell you something. Gratitude has a unique ability to diffuse stress. Sometimes I think of it this way, and I'm just throwing out these numbers. Very often, it's only maybe 10% of life that has gone sideways or not going the way we want it to. That leaves 90% of things that are going well, things that we can be grateful for. And very often we focus on the 10% of what's wrong, what's not going well, forgetting about the 90%. If we can train ourselves to focus on what's going right instead of what's going wrong, we'll find out that there's many, many more things that are right about our family, about our Christmas, about life in general than what is wrong. So focus on the things that are right and not on the things that are wrong. That's number 1. Number 2, in order to gain some peace, we have to set boundaries. This is nothing new. You've heard this before. It's okay to say no to things that stretch us too thin, whether it's declining an invitation or limiting time with certain people. Boundaries are an act of self-care. It's okay to set boundaries around our time and energy. We only have so much to go around. Politely declining invitations or requests that feel overwhelming is okay. It's not only okay, it's necessary. And as we talked about earlier, if we don't get our sleep, we might be less patient with people, maybe even a little bit cranky. And that's not good for peace. Number 3, don't always engage. That's another one. Not every comment needs a response. Not every disagreement or conflict needs to be resolved during the Christmas holidays. Wow. You know, the magnification of what's gone wrong during the year, will show up at Christmas time. You want to believe it. We need to ask ourselves, will this matter in a week or a month? If not, let's not jump into certain conversations. We don't need to be a part of everything that's being said. We can just listen in sometimes. You've often heard the phrase, pick your battles. Well, pick your battles. And it doesn't mean a battle. It just means pick and choose what conversations you're going to be a part of, what things you're going to let bother you, what things you're going to stay out of. So that's number 2. Don't always engage in controversy. Number 4, aim for simplicity. This has helped me so much over the years, and I'm still learning this one. What can we let go of this Christmas to make room for peace? We can't pile peace onto a lot of turmoil. We have to unload some things before we can bring in peace. Perhaps what we can unload might be the weight of carrying a grudge we've been holding on to for too long, or the pressure to make your home inviting. Maybe we even try to buy their love. Oh my goodness. Sometimes with our children, our spouses, our siblings, our parents, whoever, we want to buy them gifts that will prove we love them. But sometimes I think we want to buy them gifts to buy their love. Let that one sink in a little bit. We can go in deeper with all of these, but I'm just going to leave that one there right now. I've done that before. I've bought people gifts trying to buy their love. That doesn't work. Nobody has peace that way. I just want to say that decide on one aspect of Christmas that's most meaningful to you, whether it's quality time with your loved ones, serving others, or celebrating the birth of Christ. That will guide your decisions. And remember that simplicity can bring clarity and peace, much peace. So instead of striving for that Hallmark Christmas, let's embrace a peaceful one. And those Hallmark Christmas movies look peaceful, but in the middle of them somewhere, they have an upset, a disagreement, something that goes wrong. But in the end, they always end up peaceful. But we're not going to ever have a Christmas like a Hallmark movie, my friends. So let's not even go there. Let's not even strive for that. Sometimes simplicity even means letting go of traditions or plans that no longer serve you or your family. Short little story. When my children were little, I used to make the shortbread cookies and use the little cutouts of Christmas trees and snowman and snowman, Christmas trees, Santa Claus, stars, all of those. And I put the little buttons on the snowman and fuss and the little sprinkles and all that. And my children looked forward to them every year. So I got to the point where we couldn't have Christmas without those shortbread cookies. Well, now that my children are well into their adult years, I've still been making those cookies. So this year I thought, we could just have plain cookies. I could even buy cookies, and that would be fine. They're not expecting them anymore, but sometimes I think I still have to make them. That's what I mean by letting go of traditions that don't serve the family anymore. Just a thought. Think of some things that in your Christmas and things that you do that you could kind of let go now that things have changed a little bit in the family. Maybe the children have become teenagers and the teenagers have become adults. Number 5, we're getting there. Extend grace. Extend grace to others, even if and when they disappoint you. Maybe they arrived late for dinner. Maybe they forgot the dish they said they were going to bring. Maybe they brought the wrong thing. Maybe they didn't even show and they didn't let you know. Extend grace. You don't know what's been going on in their family, in their life. Extend grace to them because we want grace to come back to us. And just as importantly as extending grace to others, let's extend grace to ourselves. Christmas is a time to give and extend grace. Number 6, chill. Just chill out. Let's not make extra work for ourselves. Oh, that's a good one for me. I've always just made things more difficult than they had to be. One time, this is my last short story, I promise. One time, my children were early teens, junior high age, something like that. And I thought, I'd love to do something that shows them that Christmas isn't all about us and what we can get. Not that they were that way, but I wanted to do something to show them. So I went and bought baskets, cellophane paper, fruit. I got apples, oranges, grapes, bananas, all of that. Little walnuts, the little ones that you used to crack. We always used to have the little dish of the um, shelled nuts that we would crack at Christmas. I don't know if we can afford them anymore now, but anyway, I got some of those. I got all kinds of things, big bows and ribbons. So I said, okay, kids, we're going to make up a bunch of these baskets, and on Christmas Eve, we're going to take them to the nursing home up the street. That was lovely. When we got to the nursing home, we went to the station there where all the caregivers and the staff were on this Christmas Eve, and we said, look what we brought, boxes and boxes of these Christmas baskets. And we should have checked with them first to ask them what the people that live there actually wanted. Most of them couldn't eat the nuts or the grapes or the apples. But the nurses said, well, maybe the bananas, but that's all. But we'll enjoy them. And I got to thinking driving home, I could have made life a whole lot easier. Just went and bought a big box of chocolates and took them in and said, pass these around. And they could have ate those. So when I say don't make extra work for yourself, you can do things, but try to simplify it. Don't make it so hard on yourself and so difficult. You'll wear yourself out. So as I say, I've learned the hard way. The last one, pray for the relationships that feel strained or difficult. Ask God to bring his peace and healing in those situations. There's only so much we can do, remember? Now, that's the end of my steps of the things that I'm sharing with you today. They may seem simple, but when you put them into practice, they can help you experience the peace of Christmas more profoundly. I encourage you to choose one or two that resonate with you and where you are in your life. You don't have to do it all. Take one or more small steps toward a more peaceful holiday season. And after thinking about all of that, Christmas is so much more than an opportunity to drive ourselves to the edge of neurotic exasperation. That's what trying to do too much can do. But rather, it's about celebrating the hope and joy that came to us through Christ. The angels announced peace on earth, goodwill toward men. Isn't it ironic that the season meant to bring peace can leave us feeling anything but peaceful? But when we center our hearts on the message of Christmas, the birth of Jesus, it can change how we see everything else, including these complex family dynamics. A few verses I want to share with you that talk about peace. Philippians 4:7 says, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. That peace is available to us amid our family gatherings at Christmas time. Isaiah 9:6, we hear this a lot at Christmas time. For unto us a child is born, to us a son is given, and he will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. There it is. Let's let that truth bring a calmness to our hearts. Romans 12:18. This is a biggie. If it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peacefully with all men. And that means men or women. Men covers both genders in the Bible. You can only do your part. So once you've done your part and things are not very peaceful, just be at peace with yourself. You've heard the phrase that says, the water outside a ship won't bother it. It's only when the water gets into the ship that it will sink. So it's only if you let chaos and strife get inside you, that it'll cause you to lose your peace. You can always be at peace inside. Is it easy? No, it's not easy at all. It's difficult, but it's so worth it. And can we do it overnight? No, one baby step at a time. So, as much as possible, be at peace. But if others don't want to be peaceful, that's on them. We can't do anything about that. So, I just want to thank you for spending time with me today. I'm going to come back next week and talk about a few other aspects of Christmas. I would love it if you're here and you've watched this live or later, if you would leave me a comment in the comment section. And I'd love to know what one thing you're going to do or one thing you're going to avoid this Christmas to give you some peace in your heart, in your soul, in your mind. Share with me just one, whatever that might be. So I pray, my friend, that you will experience the peace that only Jesus can bring. And may your Christmas be filled with the wonder of his love, the gift of his presence, and the joy of knowing you're never alone. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a peaceful Christmas. God bless, and we'll see you next time.